Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you follow blockchain news at all, you already know the drill. Every single day, the market gets absolutely flooded with these flashy press releases, right? They're completely designed to grab your attention with massive numbers and crazy bold predictions. Well, today, we're cutting through all that marketing hype. We're going to take a hard, structured look at a recent piece of sponsored crypto news that hit Globe Newswire. It makes some really huge claims about a new pre-sale token called Alpha PP, but at the very same time, it tries to hook you in with a massive price prediction for a heavyweight token you probably already know, XRP. We're going to break down exactly what they're claiming, what their tech supposedly does, and most importantly, we are going to read the fine print that literally everyone skips.
Okay, let's take a quick look at our roadmap for today. First, Alpha PP's pre-sale milestones. Second, how their Alpha Swap tech actually works. Third, that wild XRP price prediction. And finally, number 4, the crucial disclaimers and risks. Let's get right into it.
Starting off with Section 1, Alpha PP's pre-sale milestones.
So, right out of the gate, the press release claims the project has already raised over $1.26 million in their ongoing pre-sale. They say they're currently in what they call Stage 16 of their funding cycle. Now, if you've been around the crypto block, you know this structured staging is a super classic tactic. It's kind of like a breadcrumb trail for buyers. They use these scheduled price hikes to keep everyone's attention laser-focused on the next big milestone. By blasting out that they've raised over $1 million, the publishers are basically waving a giant flag to the market, signaling that there is already some serious financial backing and community trust here, way before the token is ever tradable on the open market.
And just look at this rapid-fire list of milestones. This isn't just about throwing numbers at a wall. It's a deliberate strategy to build a profile around actual execution, not just empty promises. They're claiming a community of over 8,800 token holders who bought in at this stage 16 price of just under 2 cents. But here's where they really try to win your trust. They claim to have more than 4,000 active users testing their demo right now. Plus, they're flashing a 10 out of 10 block SAFU security audit, which is basically their way of saying, hey, our smart contract code is totally secure and free of bugs. But the absolute kicker for regular pre-sale buyers? Instant token delivery with zero vesting. Seriously, no vesting. Usually, your tokens are locked up and drip-fed to you over months, which is a massive headache and a huge point of friction. By stripping that away completely and pointing to a planned exchange debut in Q2 of 2026, they are trying to spin this narrative of total, immediate access and a really clear launch plan.
Moving right along to Section 2, how Alpha Swap works.
The announcement proudly states that they're building an AI-powered decentralized exchange, or DEX, called Alpha Swap. The strategy here is pretty clear. Instead of just showing up with a flashy logo and a vague roadmap of future plans, they're leaning heavily on having a working demo environment right now to justify all this pre-sale hype.
So, how does it actually work? Well, they're pitching a 3-layered value proposition. First up is AI contract screening. This is allegedly designed to sniff out risky or even malicious smart contracts before you ever interact with them. Pretty handy, right? Second, they've got whale tracking. This supposedly gives everyday traders real-time visibility into massive wallet movements right as they happen, so you're not left in the dark when the big players make a move. And finally, cross-chain execution on the Binance Smart Chain, which they claim will make meme coin trading way faster and way less fragmented. When you put it all together, these 3 layers are the core technical pitch Alpha PP is making to get investors on board.
All right, let's pivot to Section 3, the XRP price prediction. Now, this is where they attempt a brilliant, classic media pivot. Right next to bragging about their own microcap presale, they just casually drop this massive, eye-catching $7 price target for XRP. You see what they're doing there? By piggybacking on the huge search volume of a crypto giant like XRP, they cast a much, much wider net. They're trying to pull in traders who are looking for big, macro market movements. But let's pump the brakes for a second and look at what the source material is actually saying about this $7 dream.
The absolutely crucial takeaway here is that this $7 XRP target, it is entirely conditional. It depends heavily on a very specific set of regulatory and market shifts all lining up perfectly through 2026. The press release is definitely not guaranteeing $7. Actually, it outlines a highly contingent what-if scenario. For XRP to hit anywhere in that $1.70 to $8 range, a bunch of massive macro factors have to align. We're talking real progress on the Clarity Act to give regulatory safety, sustained money flowing into crypto ETFs, renewed demand from big institutional players, and just general strength across the whole market. It's a clever tactic. The text uses this big picture analysis to subtly frame their own project. They're essentially whispering, hey, while XRP is sitting around waiting for all these massive global catalysts to fall into place, Alpha Pepe is speeding through a much nearer, much more immediate launch window.
Which brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, Section 4, Crucial Disclaimers and Risks.
So, after paragraphs hyping up perfect security audits and imminent exchange launches, the fine print drops the marketing tonally. Honestly, it is a whiplash-inducing tone shift from all that earlier optimism, but it's a legally required one. The disclaimer explicitly warns, and I quote, "It is possible to lose all your capital." It strongly urges readers to seek independent financial advice and to only speculate with money they are completely prepared to watch go straight to zero.
And what about the platforms hosting this release, like Globe Newswire and Markets Insider? Well, they make it abundantly clear that they didn't write this, they didn't verify a single word of it, and they certainly don't endorse it. The text flat out says they assume absolutely no responsibility or liability for the accuracy, completeness, legality, or reliability of any of this information. They explicitly state they won't be held responsible for any fraudulent activities or misrepresentations. Long story short, the publishers are handing Alpha Pepe a giant megaphone, but they are completely washing their hands of whether any of these claims are actually grounded in reality.
At the end of the day, you really have to weigh the excitement of potential technological innovation against the very sobering reality of zero liability marketing. So I want to leave you with this final thought. The next time you're scrolling and you see a massive price prediction in a crypto headline, ask yourself, are you reading a genuine roadmap or just a really, really expensive advertisement? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.
Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe this channel.